Raj Kumar from Renegade Jiu-Jitsu.
And as we saw earlier, Renegade brings it in all sorts of forms. And when you got a man like Tom Breeze and another man over there. Oh, it's not Fabian Edwards. Oh, it's Fabian Edwards. Good. So you got essentially your, you know, a who's who of UK MMA pioneers, UK MMA competitors. Guys that are great on the ground and great striking.
Team Renegade, I'm just so impressed. I was at a Cage Warriors event a few weeks ago. Beauty, one of the corner men over there, I've forgotten his name, but he was on there. Just looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, as a gym, they just have such high-level athletes coming out, and not just one or two, not just athletic standouts, but they got a system and an approach for bringing on everyone. And that's why we're seeing such high-level competitors come out of that gym.
Really comprehensive and conscientious thought going into these young athletes. They know that you're only as good as the next one that's coming up, and Renegade is turning out some absolute monsters at this time.
And I'd like Fabian Edwards and Tom Breeze in my corner. I mean, you're going to get some good advice. It's going to go pretty well, I reckon. Definitely the UK MMA scene has grown now. We're starting to see these super gyms, having it from Team Renegade, London Shoot Fighters, even like London Fight Factory. We're having these monster gyms appear in the UK scene.
Jordan Denning from Cooper's MMA, he's no slouch, this man. He's worked on his wrestling. He's the one that's definitely told us time and time again that he's getting better. And here he comes out here, ready to rock and roll again.
I was so impressed with him in his last fight. Just did everything well. I mean, all the guys from Cooper's MMA do everything well. It's the same thing, and they're another super team of well-rounded coaches and fighters and regulars here on Battle Arena, and they always bring it. They always bring a high level of technique, of fitness. You know that any fighter from Cooper's MMA is going to be no slouch.
Yeah, they come all the way across from Ireland. They're always here to take some scalps home with them, but I think Raj Kumar has a completely different idea, and only time's going to tell which will be imposed. I just like the mustaches on the Cooper's MMA.
They are, I can't remember what barber it is. They're sponsored by a barber. We'll have a look when they get a bit closer. But it's nice when like local small businesses will support MMA teams. It can be very, very difficult. We often hear about the Conor McGregors of the world making millions or hundreds of millions, but for 99.9% of people in the sport, you know, it's just for the love of it. It's just for the passion. So when little businesses can get behind, help fighters out with gloves and kit and training gear and protein powder, it makes all the difference.
It does, and we can definitely see that Jordan Denning's been taking good care of himself. He's coming in, he's absolutely ripped. He's looking better than we've ever seen him.
Battle Arena presents three-minute rounds of amateur mixed martial arts in the 70-kilogram weight division. Introducing first in the red corner, representing Renegade Jiu-Jitsu, Raj Kumar! His opponent across the cage in the blue corner, representing Cooper's MMA, Jordan Denning!
Jordan Denning might be the best looking fighter at Battle Arena. He's a handsome man.
That was close. I still got to give it to Mark Kelly, though. But you never know. It might be just the hair.
You just like tall men. That's your problem, Steve.
That is my thing. Though Jordan Denning is looking good right now, and Raj Kumar, both looking good. Coming out orthodox style, no touch of gloves. Both these guys want to get in. You see Jordan Denning just sitting back. That's not what you want to do against a guy with the wrestling chops as Raj Kumar, as he drags.
When someone comes out saying we are Renegade Jiu-Jitsu, you probably want to avoid Jiu-Jitsu.
That's very frantic of a pace there at the in these opening frames.
Jordan with some lovely kicks though.
He's doing well to manage the distance. Almost seems to have Raj Kumar a little bit shook there on the outside.
I think maybe Raj was expecting to rush in and be able to get a takedown very quickly, but Jordan Denning pushing him away, keeping the kicks, but that's what Raj Kumar's been looking for.
Just doesn't get low on the hips quick enough to get the takedown.
We might be getting an old school striker versus grappler situation here.
You do love those, Chris. It'd be great if we saw one.
I do. I like a back and forth fight, that's why.
It will go. I'd like to see Raj Kumar hike up that left underhook a little bit higher, but man, Jordan Denning's doing well to keep a hold of it. He's also focusing on head pressure and head position. This is very, very,
very
good level of wrestling there from Jordan Denning.
It's something that occasionally in the UK scene we're missing, is that kind of highly polished wrestling with people having their head in the right place and the little details that make all the difference.
And the man who's got his head in the right place right now is Raj Kumar. He's got his head pressed into the neck of Jordan Denning. He's using it to control the distance and control the hips of Denning. He can slam
He's got him
some
pressed
knees
up
in
in
maybe.
his corner. Got Tom Breeze a foot away, giving him advice. One of the UK's best grapplers. It's got to be a big advantage. But Jordan Denning's hanging in there.
Really good head position from Raj Kumar. He's really doing everything with his head. Controlling well under the chin. Jordan Denning's got to have some sort of answer here, maybe to look back to an underhook on his left side.
That shin across the knee, it's very BJ Penn-esque. Requires a lot of dexterity with that leg, but it can be a good way of shutting down some of those takedowns.
And he almost uses it. Oh, Raj Kumar's hips come forward there, and he's able to press Denning back into the cage.
Steve, what does Denning need to do to get his back off of the cage?
It's actually very simple here, Chris. He's got to take his right hand, push on the shoulder of Raj Kumar that's got the underhook, and then use that to make a little bit of space and snake his own underhook in there. He's doing well with that knee across the hips, but it's just surviving at that time. And I'd like to see Raj be a little bit confident, maybe with knees into the upper thighs of Jordan Denning, do some actual damage here. So right now, this is just like a squeezing standoff.
It's very difficult for the judges to score this position, isn't it? It's who's winning. If you're holding the other guy against the fence, but you're not doing any damage, are you controlling the fight, or just looking to control the fight?
Yeah, just looking to it, just about to. He's throwing some peppery shots here. There's not a lot happening at the moment. And because he has that underhook, he could look to maybe secure a takedown there off that leg, but
I'm
he
impressed
looked
with
for
Jordan.
it momentarily.
Jordan Denning's takedown defense would be very impressive. That shin across, keeping his head low. It's a very good first round. It's really hard to score, right? Because Raj had the control a little bit in that he's the one pressing Jordan Denning into the cage. But then Jordan Denning, he landed some big kicks at the start of the round.
He had only a momentary takedown as well. It wasn't that great at all.
See,
Jordan Denning was able to reverse the position really strong there.
This is where the judging can be such a hard job, because someone like myself, I might have a bias towards the wrestling or the grappling aspect of it, and another judge with more of a background in striking, he might score and say, look, there were some big kicks he landed, that's going to score more highly.
That's what I'd like to see Jordan Denning just maintain the angle just a little bit, maintain that distance, use his angles a bit to try to inflict some damage on Raj Kumar here in the second round. But that was a very closely contested first round. I'm wondering if it'll all blow open here in the second.
Here we are, Battle Arena 51, Edge Baston Stadium, Birmingham.
I see Raj Kumar's a little bit frantic with his movement in the guard, whereas Jordan Denning a lot more calm. Raj trying to feint his way in.
Jordan Denning clearly wants to stay long, but it can be difficult in this. It's not a huge cage.
No, not there we go. Single leg, head up, good head position. He can back away. Now he's looking to get the fingers together.
Ooh,
almost,
so close.
Almost. He just needs chest pressure. Good. He uses it well. Jordan Denning's got that underhook position, but Raj Kumar goes overhook. Almost in like a half Nelson position there. He's lifting Denning up really high, and Denning's climbing around his body like a monkey.
Ooh.
Head position in. Oh, now Denning's got Raj Kumar pressed against the cage. And I think Denning's going to be a lot more active with the knees here. There he is. That's what I want to see.
See, Raj Kumar in round one seemed the stronger of the two fighters, but once you start getting tired, it's not who's got the most muscle mass or who can get the most weight behind it, but it's actually who's got the most left.
Who's going to get there fastest with the mostest, and they both exchange shots as they break away. Denning's looking to kind of step back and throw that right hook. I like it, but it reminds me a little bit too much of Conor McGregor, and that guy sucks.
It's a bit of a switch hook. Raj with this constant pressure. He's got to complete these takedowns. You know, if I was judging this, what Raj is doing, if he's not doing any damage and he can't take him down, he's controlling it, but he's almost failing over and over again because he can't get what he's looking for.
Yeah, he can't, but he's got good inside control there. He's going to use this underhook, and he's got great head position. Because Raj Kumar, he's doing all the basics well. He just doesn't seem to be able to outmaneuver a very game Denning. And I want Denning to rise to the top of the Irish MMA scene so we can get rid of that, whatever that guy is everyone talks about. There we go.
Oh, he's got his hands together.
Hands together, pulls him out.
Lovely.
Another takedown.
Finally
Secures
gets
it
his
this
takedown.
time.
Jordan Denning looking for a rubber guard position, holding his shin. He's trying to stop Raj from getting much of a posture. If Raj can get tall, it means that he can slam down big shots. But Jordan Denning working that high guard, holding onto his head, doing everything he can from getting a good posture on top of him. Sometimes if you can do that effectively and you can hold on to your opponent and they can't make any space, the referee will even stand it up because it's lack of action. It's a high risk move to just try and hold on to someone. I'd like to see Jordan Denning open his guard, try and look to press away, but then maybe, we know that Raj has got great grappling, so maybe Jordan Denning's a bit cautious about opening his guard and trying to press away and stand up, because he knows that will possibly give Raj a little bit of space to get a pass and work his own jiu-jitsu game.
If you're in the Cooper's MMA corner right now, you've got to be thinking that you're 2 rounds down. That's the only way you can go into this. You've got to be thinking that the finish has to come in the 3rd round.
Yeah, the first round was so close, but it's a good point, Steve. I think both fighters have probably got to throw caution to the win in the 3rd.
Very much so.
Right, if Raj wants to win and he's going to stick with his takedown game plan, he needs to shoot and get the takedown early in the 3rd round.
Very much so early. Interestingly, we haven't seen him secure any takedowns from open play yet, so it seems like he's doing that classic thing that we see with wrestlers, and a lot of jiu-jitsu people do it. They ask me questions about it all the time, but shooting to your knees in MMA is not the one, Chris. It allows them to sprawl, and you can't cover the distance fast enough to be able to secure that takedown. That's why we see Raj securing it up against the fence when Denning can't run away. Not run away. You're not running away, Denning. You're the absolute man right now. But you're just getting backed up and you can't escape through that back door, but he's doing well in open play. I want to see Raj not hit his knees on the takedown, rather set it up with a couple punches and then try to secure a takedown in open play. Because he seems to be getting deep in on those hips. He just needs to stay up on his feet and be able to run through Denning. Similarly, Denning, throw some high kicks up the middle or something like that. It might be something to keep Raj thinking, because he's ducking in every time he throws a few punches. You see a couple things here, either a wrestling clinic, or he's going to... that was another idea there from the Cooper's MMA corner. The idea of maybe getting a takedown ourselves. Raj powers him over there and sends him back into the all-familiar position of the cage. With that excellent head position, look at exactly where the forehead of Raj is. Denning's starting to get wise to it, but you see Raj just keeps beating him to putting his head just below the ear.
We see this a lot at Battle Arena, where one guy holds another guy up against the cage. They don't have their wrestling isn't enough better than their opponent to get the takedown. But the guy against the cage, their wrestling isn't good enough to get off the cage. And we end up in this kind of stalemate position of constantly pressing against the cage.
Denning is so explosive, so powerful. And we've seen him during some of those takedown exchanges end up actually in the better position. But right now he just can't seem to make that overhook work for him or secure any underhook himself. And there, a little exchange of ideas there, I think. Raj sees that knee open and starts firing some knees in himself, doing a little bit more damage and looking to secure the points here in the round, which seems to be his only direction to victory so far that we've seen. That's what I want to see. You see Raj stepping his right knee behind the hips. If he hips in now, he can possibly get the takedown if he locks the body of Denning. He's got to ignore some of those little palm strikes that Denning's throwing, though.
So, Steve, does he need to drop his body weight to get a little bit lower?
No, you see his hips are actually a little bit lower than Denning's right now. So if he just brings that right knee around the back of Denning's far right leg, he can hip in.
So go towards his underhook.
And that way he'll be able to take him with that body lockdown. But you see Denning's always scrambling. He's always giving you a bit of pressure in the wrong way. And I think that's affecting Raj's confidence in securing a takedown.
I think sometimes, like, someone as good at grappling as Raj is that he can't really, like, you're so used to not having the cage there. If you're on the wrestling mat and he had that position, you probably had to throw him quite easily, just drive forward, tap the other leg. But when we've got the cage in the way, it makes everything so different.
All that friction up against it. There's the leg there. Can he hike that up? I know you mentioned DC earlier. I want to see him step those hips in and possibly lift that leg, but now he chooses to strike a little bit and then goes right back into the shot. That is very high level. That is some really good technique there from Raj.
I'm impressed, and he's winning the round. That's so important as well. He's making sure that he can eke out this round. It's possibly a round apiece, so making sure he wins this round. Just constant pressure. He knows Jordan hasn't landed any shots at all this round. He's the one pressing against cage, but he's shooting for takedowns. So even if he can't put him away, just to keep with his strategy is probably the way to go.
This is going to be one tiring match for both fighters, but Denning's definitely getting the worst of it right now and has been for the last 2 rounds. There's a 10-second warning. Raj Singh goes exactly right back to that single leg and now looks to step over and possibly get his head up and get a takedown here at the very end. He's just showing that he's the more active of the 2 fighters. This was a clash of styles, but it was more like a wrestler versus a guy who wants to, I don't know, do kickboxing. Jordan Denning.
Jordan Denny,
just push that shoulder, mate. Push that shoulder and look to snake that arm back into the underhook. That could be a good position for you, as well as getting head position earlier on. But Raj Singh did exactly what he needed to do there to eke out a victory.
I'd say. Sometimes 2 styles can match together to not make the most exciting fight. We've got to go to a judge's decision. I can't see how Raj hasn't won it, in all honesty. Like, I think I gave the first round to Jordan. I felt like he just eked out enough in the first round. For the second and third, it's got to be Raj. He got takedown at the end of the second, and in the third, he didn't get hit with anything and just constantly pressured. And I think he's probably done enough to get this win. But I'm not a judge, Steve, thankfully.
I'm here with your winner, Raj Kumar. You got the unanimous decision, 3 great rounds of action. How you feeling after that, buddy?
Oh, well, let's just say, I trained with that Renegade Jiu-Jitsu with the likes of UFC fighter Tom Breeze. You've got Cage Warriors vet Aiden Lee. You've got like Fabian Edwards, soon to be the BAMMA middleweight champion. I like, every time I spar with those guys, I go 5 3s. So 3 3s ain't a problem. And like me personally, sticking to the game plan, mastermind Breeze MMA. He just said, hustle him. Like, I could have boxed, could have pointed, but you gotta just keep hustling sometimes. Like, Jordan's a good guy. Best one I fought. And like, I ain't gonna lie, he caught me with the body kick, and I just thought, fuck this. There's no point doing won't mind my language. There's no point going back and forth. I gotta just go for it.
Yeah, he's definitely a good guy from a good team, Cooper's MMA over in Ireland. But like you said, you come from Renegade Jiu-Jitsu, you know, with Tom Breeze, with Fabian Edwards. So you use that kind of level in training.
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole consensus of a fight is you kind of want to implement what you are in the gym into the fight.
100%.
Me personally, I'm not even 30% there yet. Like, what you saw was some scrappy, let's say if I was doing an essay, that was like a day in before. that's what that work was. Wasn't my best work. Glad I got the W. Got onwards and upwards. I want to carry on doing this, improve my record, go pro, and hopefully be up there one day.
Okay, then, so we've seen 2 fights from Team Renegade so far. And the first one was Kieran win. Was that inspiring to you to be up there doing your warm-up and hear that he's won?
Me personally, like, while I was doing my warm-up, and he came back with the good news, it does elevate you. You just think, you know what, I can't fall. I have to follow a trend now. Like, someone from my team got the win, excuse me. Let's get 2 for the night, let's celebrate properly. I mean, fair play to Jordan, traveling across the pond, coming into my home territory, but like, 0-1-2-1 in it. I gotta represent.
You had to get that win, didn't you?
I had to get that win. I had to represent properly. I mean, if I want to do this in the long run, you gotta just have a great team, have a great mindset, and just keep moving forward.
Well, it was a great contest and a great win. Congratulations, buddy. Move on to the next one.